Hello friends, it's my pleasure to welcome you to my channel Laser Graphics and Multimedia, and in this video you are going to learn how to create print ready banner in Photoshop step-by-step tutorial. But before we dive deep into the tutorial, if you are very new to this channel, remember to click on the subscribe, turn on the notification bell so each time I post content about Photoshop you'll be notified. So with that being said, let's dive into the tutorial and see how you can create print ready banner in Photoshop step-by-step tutorial. The first thing you need to do is to go to the Home tab right here. Click on File, then from File, make sure you click on Name. Then from the point right here, this is where you need to type in the name of your design. Then you have to come to this side right here. Make sure you switch from pixel and make sure you choose inches. Then you have to come to the width column. For the width column, you just have to type in 13.123. That is for the width. Then you have to move to the next column, which is height column. So under the height column, you have to type in 29.524. Then you have to come to the resolution here. Make sure your resolution is 300. Then you have to come to the color mode right here. You have to switch from RGB. Make sure you choose CMYK. So you come down below here and make sure you click on Create. Next thing you want to do now is to go to your toolbar, click and hold down from the point right here. Make sure you choose your pen tool. Then having choose your pen tool, you can come to the property right here and make sure you change the color to gray and make sure shape is checked. Then you have to come to the workspace right here and draw your shape. Then the next thing you need to do is to come to your layer panel right here. Make sure you select your background layer. Having select your background layer, then you have to make another shape from the point here. Then you can come to the shape property from the top right here. You can change the color. You change to black. Then the next thing you need to do is to go back to your layer panel right here. Select on the shape 1 layer. Make it active. Then you have to come down below here, make a new layer. Then after you make a new layer, you have to go back to your toolbar right here. Click and hold down. Make sure you choose ellipse tool. Then you can come to the property right here. Make sure shape is checked. And you can change the color to another color. Then you have to come to the workspace and you press Shift key on your keyboard and draw your perfect circle. You can make it as big as possible. Next thing you want to do is to go to your move tool right here and you have to adjust your circle this way. So next thing you want to do is to come to your layer panel right here. Right click on the layer. Make sure you look for duplicate layer. Then you can make this ellipse tool. And then you click on OK. Now, one thing you want to do next is that you have to go to your Edit and look for Free Transform. Then you have to press Shift key and Hotkey and drag to adjust the circle. Then once you're satisfied, you come to the top right here. Make sure you click on Confirm Transform. Then you can from here change the color. So the next thing we need to do is to go back to our layer panel right here. We have to select our ellipse 1 layer. You right click on it. Then we have to look for duplicate layer. Then we can rename this as our ellipse 3. And we click on OK. Now what we're going to do for this ellipse 3 is that we have to go back to our Home tab right here. We go to Edit and Free Transform. Then we have to press Shift key and Hotkey on our keyboard and to make the circle as much as possible smaller this way. Then we have to adjust this to the top right. Then we have to locate this particular layer right here. We come back to the layer panel. We right click on the layer and we go to duplicate layer. So we can make this ellipse 4. Next thing we want to do is to go to the home tab right here. We go to edit. From edit, we have to look for free transform. Then we will have to adjust this as much as possible. You press shift key and hotkey on your keyboard to resize this. Then we have to take it to this point right here. Then from the point right here, we can change the color to gray. Next thing we want to do is to fall back to the layer panel right here. We double click on this layer. We look for duplicate layer. So this one right here, we can make it 5th ellipse. And we click on OK. This duplicate one here, we can from here change the color to this type of gray. Then we go to edit. From the home tab right here, we look for our free transform. Then we have to press shift key, hotkey on our keyboard. Then we resize the circle as much as possible. Then we can place this right here. So the next thing we want to do right here is to go back to the layer panel, right click on the layer thumbnail, and we look for duplicate layer. So we can make this ellipse 6. And we hit on OK. Then we have to take the duplicate one right here. Then what we're going to do right here is to go back to edit. Then we have to look for our free transform. So we have to press shift key and hotkey on our keyboard, and we make this circle as much as smaller. Then you press enter. Once you're satisfied with the size, you press enter. Then the next thing we can do right here, we can make a duplicate of this particular circle. What we're going to do is to press hotkey on our keyboard and drag, and we take it right here. So what we can do next is that we have to locate the first shape at the bottom from the layer panel right here. So we press shift key and select the shape, and we have to go to our home tab right here. We go to edit, then free transform. So what we are going to do right here is to drag this to the top a little bit. So once you are satisfied with the proper adjustment, you have to come to the top right here. Click on this check mark to approve the free transform. All right. So the next thing you want to do right here is to locate the background layer right here. Then after you select your background layer, you have to go back to your toolbar right here. You have to click and hold down and make sure you choose your rectangle. And then having choose your rectangle, then you have to draw a rectangle at the bottom right here. Then you have to go to edit, and you look for free transform. So we need to make sure that we adjust this particular place and make sure it snaps the page. Once you're satisfied with the adjustment, you have to come to the top right here. Click on this confirm transform. So the next thing you want to do is to place picture to our banner. So we have to start from the top right here. And then the next thing you want to do right here is to go to file. From the home tab right here, we look for place embedded. Then we have to work on this particular shape right here. Then we have to go back to file, place embedded. All right, so the next thing to do is to add appropriate color to our banner. So we can start from this particular shape right here, and we come to the layer thumbnail. We have to double click on the layer thumbnail. So you can see the color code I used for this one right here. Okay, and I'm going to click on OK. So next thing I'm going to do is to select on this particular image right here. Then we have to select on the shape layer right here. We select on the shape layer. Then having selected on the shape layer, we have to go back to our pen tools. Then I have to add stroke color right here. Then I'm going to use this color here as the stroke color. I'm going to click on OK. Then we can increase the stroke width from the top right here. Then the next thing we can do here is to select on this particular shape also. Then we have to look for the shape right here. Then we go back to our pen tools right here. Then we have to go to the shape. And we're going to use this color. Then we make the shape size the same, which is 60. So the next thing we can do here is to select this particular layer and press Shift key and select this layer. So what we're going to do right here is that we just need to tap a little bit this way. Then we need to select on this particular shape right here. Then we double click on the layer thumbnail. So you have to pick the color from this point right here. And we click on OK. Next thing we want to do is to select on the bottom shape, which is the first green. Then we double click on the layer thumbnail. We change this to white. Good. Then we click on OK. Then the next thing we want to do is to select on this particular shape. Then from here, we can change the color to light gray. Good. Next thing we want to do is to select on this particular shape right here. Then we change the blend mode to multiply. Then we can go to edit right here. Free transform. We can press Shift key and hotkey to increase the size of the circle as much as possible. Then we have to locate this particular shape right here, which is shape 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so we have to press Shift key and select our shape 4. Then we have to press Ctrl T to open the transform tools. Then I need to drag this up a little bit. So once you're satisfied with the adjustment, come to the top right here and click on this to accept the free transform. Next thing you want to do is to locate the 5th ellipse. So this ellipse circle right here. Then you have to go to the blend mode right here. Change the blend mode to linear bond. Then you can adjust the shape out a little bit. Alright, so at this point here, the next thing to do is to add text, icons, and shapes into our print ready roll-up banner.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, put your hand to the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? 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 They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah, but I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the